I'll take Abimbola's question. So Abimbola, get your question ready. So how do I price my product so people don't say it is too expensive? Number one, your product should be priced based on value. Everybody on this call, type in value. 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 Your pricing should be based on value. If you have checked some of my posts on social media, I tell people, don't sell what other people are selling. Sell what you can deliver. Sell what you can deliver. What can you deliver? That's what you should be selling. So don't use that as because they are selling for 1,000 naira, I'll sell for 1,000 naira. Because they are selling for $1,000, I'll sell for 1,000. The question should be, what am I delivering? Olayinka Sunday. What am I delivering? What exactly do I have the capacity to deliver on? So that when I charge a fee, I can back it up. So let your pricing be based on value. Okay? One of my subsidiaries is into software development, and we're working on one of the largest business solution in Africa. It's very, very unique, and we also have an approach to it. But in that space, an average web solution is 1,800,000, 1.5 million. And when I was meeting with the team in charge of the subsidiary, I said, I don't want you to come and tell me that is the price. You must list what is called value. You must know the value you're bringing. You must know the various value options. You must know what is called value stacking. I'll say that again. You must know the value of what you're delivering. You must know the value options that are available, and you must know what is called value stacking. So you see that when you go to KFC. So KFC will tell you that you can get a fantastic crispy chicken. But with that same crispy chicken, there is jollof rice. With that same crispy chicken, there is chips. With that same crispy chicken, there is burger. With that same crispy chicken. So what does that does to them? It is the main thing people love KFC for is their chicken. But they have to bring in other value options that particular main core value can be an addition to, and they use that to increase their pricing. So you are not buying it because you are buying chicken or because you want to cook chicken in the house. Oh, am I helping you tonight? Come on, guys, are you learning? I think I'm so that's how it works. So you have to sit down and list the value. You have to sit down and list that value. Then you can now say, okay, how can I stack these values together? One of the values that we are launching later in the year for our real estate company is we want to do fence for you. Our fence is there, but you want your own fence inside our own fence. Yes, we'll do it for you. So it will not just be corner piece. We'll do your fence for you. So anywhere you are in the world, we even put a gate for you. You see that? They will lock that gate. And that's what is called value stacking. So somebody buys the land for 2.5 million per plot. We'll add the fencing of that property. We'll add. So in your space now, you need to list those things that are available. that is a added advantage that you can play on. Number two, study competitor pricing. Yeah, study, but don't copy and paste. And that's what a lot of people do. Don't copy and paste. I study, but I don't copy and paste because you don't know the basis. Hope you know that you can be wrong. There's what is called copyright and there's what is called copy wrong. Copyright is that you are copying that person and you are sure of what you are copying. Do you know that a lot of people, what they are copying is wrong? How many of us have experienced that in school before? Somebody is covering his book, and after the exam, he did not pass. Somebody is really busy, he's covering his book. He doesn't want anybody to write what he's copying. But at the end, and that's what a lot of you do in businesses, you just lift a price and you just adjust. Just lift the price and you just change and you're running with it. So that's why I tell you that you need a lot of knowledge to be able to scale up and be better at it. Number three, test different price points. Yes. Number four, communicate why it is worth it. Communicate why you are adding that value. Communicate why you are adding that value, and you'll be good to go. So let's take Abimbola's question. Then I'll take one more from Abimbola. Are you there, please? Okay, so Abimbola says, "Dear doctor, like my case in the hospitality business with so much competition in Abeokuta, Ogun State, I have to look for customers or else the cost of energy usage band A will chase me out of business. Thank you for what you do. Good evening." Okay, guys. So when I said don't go for customers, no, that's not entirely complete. That's incomplete of what I'm saying. You have to go for customers. But I only said look for a model that attracts people naturally to you. When people come to you naturally, you can charge them more because they understand what they are coming for. While you are still going for more people that you want to market to. You get what I'm saying now, Bimbola? So understand so it's a two-leg thing. It's a two-leg thing. Go for attract people that are interested in what you're doing. Then go market to people that are. So what I'm not saying is that the people that are here, when you market to them, it's not all of them that will buy from you. But the people that come to you, almost all of them can buy from you, except they don't have money. So when you go and you are marketing everywhere, it's very, very good. Very, very good. So please don't stop. What I'm only saying is that you have to sit down and say, what can I add to my business that will make people naturally come? So let me give you an example. For those that used to sell, um, which industry is that? These people that used to have beer parlor, for example. Let me use that one. The reason why they will always put football beside in their kiosk or put a premiership, I don't know what they call it. I'm not a football fan, but it's because people will always come to watch football. And because people will always come to watch football, they will eventually do what? They will eventually buy drink. So that's the idea. It's different from you going out to market. They are the one coming based on something. So it means that what can I build in my hospitality business that can make people come to me, then it can take you a lot of work to build, but that is how it is. I can, I can explain that. And I'm doing that in my business. As a matter of fact, I make more money from people that are coming coming to us. We make more money from people coming to us than people that we are going to market. Because when you go and market to people, you don't even know their pockets. But somebody that comes to meet you hungrily will buy from you. Have I balanced it now, Mr. Bimbola? By the way, which hospitality business do you do? Which hospitality business do you do? You can unmute your mic. Okay, I have an hotel. Fantastic. So you want to now go and do a research on an attraction model for hotels. You get now an attraction model for hotel that can make people naturally come to that hotel without, it could be service, it could be your experience, it could be anything, but just make those things available. No matter how much they see other places, they will not go. They will come to you. And that's how to scale and remain in business. Okay, fantastic. Any other question? I'm grateful, sir. You're welcome. Any other question? Good. So let's do one more.